aliens, and welcome back to Area 51 and a half, where we talk about all things science fiction, fantasy, horror, and pop culture. As always, I am your host, Spooky Uncle John. With me, as always, are my Millennial Falcons.
Snyderman 501, Nick Snyder.
And our Techno Mage.
Ren, a.k.a. Pyre Lily.
And Nick, why don't you go ahead and remind our aliens how they can get a hold of us?
You can find us on social media. That is Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at the Area 51H. You can also find us on Facebook and YouTube by searching for Area 51 and a half. And of course, check out our Patreon for interesting little goodies, fun little goodies, and a shout out on our episodes.
Yeah, and you know what? Please interact with us. Interact with our Facebook. We want to hear from you.
Yes, we do.
I would like to know what the aliens would like us to talk about. That would be fun.
We would love to see pictures of your pets.
Well, Ren would like to see pictures of your pets.
Hey, I'm good with seeing pictures of pets.
I'm a bit indifferent. I don't care as much. But you know, if they're doing something funny, like Pinhead Chihuahua. I live for Pinhead Chihuahua.
I saw that. I died.
I live for that. I live for that.
Okay, seriously. Here's the movie. Pinhead Chihuahua versus Dogpool. That will make no money at the box office, but I would watch it.
You know what? It might make money at the box office. You never know, because there's all kinds of indie movies. Speaking of indie movies, word on the street from Kyle. Mm-hmm. Remember, guys, we did that a little while ago to bring the aliens up to speed. A few years ago, I invested in young filmmaker Kyle Hilton. I hope I said his last name right. And he was doing a short film called Massacre at Femur Creek. And it's a kind of a horror comedy spoof of the slasher movies.
Yeah.
Specifically John Carpenter. We're both John Carpenter fans. Our friend John Miori, who did an interview on one of our Halloween episodes, is in it as the Shape, as the serial killer. So he's back playing that role. I couldn't help produce it this time. I'm not as financially well off as I was about 10 years ago. So Kyle has now made a feature-length film. Mm-hmm. Spooky Uncle John got to be a voice actor. I play a weatherman. Not just any weatherman, though. A deranged weatherman on the radio who is basically announcing the weather for the apocalypse.
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to that. Another thing, my wonderful Millennial Falcons, you might have noticed I'm still having my beard. I have not gotten rid of my beard, which I accidentally grew back in October.
You accidentally...
How does one accidentally grow a beard, I hear you mutter? This is how one accidentally grows a beard. When you are a full-time caregiver for an elderly, infirm mother, and you just don't bother shaving, and then one day you look and you go, oh, I have grown a beard. Okay. It worked well for Christmas because I got to play Santa Claus as a real beard Santa. Mm-hmm. And I had to do a lot of makeup in there because my beard is not white or gray. And so then I kept it for Little Red Riding Hood when I was playing Fatherhood because it made sense. And then I have to keep it now because I applied and have been shortlisted to be a background performer in Guillermo del Toro's upcoming film, Prodigal Father, working title, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh.
Yeah, filming in March.
Is he coming back to St. Thomas?
No, this will be up in Toronto way. Toronto way. But let me explain to those who don't know what the process is. Process is they have their mass submissions.
Yeah.
Hey, we're looking for people. Give us your pictures. Spooky Uncle John sends in his picture and waits. And here's nothing. And then suddenly an email shows up. It's like, you have been shortlisted. Congratulations. Pending director approval. So I still may not make it. However, exciting news because I want to be in a Guillermo del Toro horror movie. Even in the background.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're still in it.
Yeah. And, it's like, I don't care that it's minimum wage. I don't care that my entire paycheck will probably go to a hotel in Toronto somewhere.
Who cares?
I don't care. I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do it. So that's the exciting news. Stay tuned. We'll let you know because, there may be a March episode. I can't be here.
Wow. Well,
We shall see.
yeah.
But I have to let the beard continue to grow. Can't trim it. So I had to send a text to my barber. I said, I love you. You're my dude. But you haven't seen me since before Christmas, and you won't be for a while.
Yeah. Sorry,
because
bro.
I gotta let it grow. If they do choose me, then they will cut and style it. So it might be a while before. And he's like sweetest guy. Blackcomb Barbershop. He's got 2 locations. Blenheim here in St. Thomas. He's fabulous guy. And he's just, that's exciting. Congratulations. I'll see you when I see you. So, it's just marvelous that way. What's going on with you guys? Anything new and exciting?
Well, as we advertised in the last episode, we had our Denny's game night, and it went very well.
Yes, it did.
We had a lot of people out for the night. I ate a lot of food.
You ate so much food. Oh, Nick, you ate so much food. It's like tomorrow there was not going to be any food left.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, a lot of fun. We had some people playing Mario Kart. We had some people playing Connect 4. We had some people playing all sorts of different board games. And we're doing it again. We're going to do this again every Monday night. And yeah, so come on out.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. 4 starts at 4, goes to 8. I'm going to start setting up occasional D&D sessions. I'm going to call it Denny's and Dungeons and Dragons. And I'll be getting people I'll be looking for signups for that. So watch out for that in the coming few days. And yeah, it was good.
And they have specials on apps for I think it's nachos and matzo sticks for a special price. So that's fantastic.
I had never had Danny's nachos before, and I wasn't expecting that kick, but man,
they're different.
Kicked like a mule, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's a little different because it seems like we're so off topic from pop culture, but who cares?
Nachos are pop culture.
They have, it's almost like a chili sauce.
Yeah.
It's not like your typical burger. It's like, and it's got some heat to it. And then there's like, I don't know what cheese they're using, but it's not your typical cheddar.
It was almost like a queso. It was really good.
Yeah. It's got some bite to it for sure.
Yeah.
What's new with you, Ren?
I'm working.
Yes, you were not here the last episode because somebody got to pay the bills.
Yeah, my part-time, it's kind of turned into a full-time because summer is starting and we have...
Summer is starting in February?
Oh, already. Yeah, we have lots of things going on and a lot of festivals. I'll actually be out, possibly going to a bunch of taco and beer festivals in the Southwest.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
So, well, to be fair, around here, it's like late autumn never left. Yeah. I mean, we had one day of snowfall, real snowfall, that went away within 2 days.
As it turns out, we are in the middle of a drought right now.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. There's no moisture. There's just nothing.
There is an El Nino. Our friends out in BC are getting walloped with snow. Our friends out in Nova Scotia are getting walloped with snow. Here in the Great Lakes area, we're just like, is it ever going to snow?
But that's what's going to make April 8th so amazing.
Well, I hope it's not going to be overcast.
Oh, it better not.
We are in the zone, people. We are in the area where the full solar eclipse will happen.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you go like just a few kilometers north of here, you're not going to see it.
And
it won't be a full eclipse.
No, just even like 20 minutes down the road.
Yep.
So everyone needs to flock down here to our area, and we need to have Little Shop of Horrors karaoke. I'm sorry, we just have to.
No, I can't do that. That's copyright.
No. Yep.
We need to have that. But on those notes as to what we are all doing, it is time for Nick's Pop Culture Roundup.
All right, first thing we're going to talk about is the new video game, Palworld. And this is... oh my god. So we watched... I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
We were watching
Let's Game It Out.
Who does... You explain it.
He's a YouTuber who basically gets games and sees how much he can mess them up.
Okay.
So he will try to find all the glitches. He'll try to see how high he can build things and how wide and oh, can I go on top of this building that I'm not supposed to go on top of? Typically, yes, you can. And basically he will spend days on days on days messing with the game.
So he's basically testing the limits.
In a way,
and the
yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah, in the most chaotic way possible, and it's amazing.
He is hilarious when he does it too. So we're watching this video of him playing Palworld, and he is just looking to see what you can do that you probably shouldn't be able to do in this game. Like, for example, there's a human merchant, a guy selling items out in the wild.
A human merchant, as in he's selling humans? Or he's a merchant who is a human?
Well, I feel he's a merchant that is human, and I feel the need to specify that because we're also dealing with a world of weird little monsters. So
okay, so nursery school.
Indeed, and so you have to like Pokemon, like the game that this is clearly ripping off, in the most loving way possible, obviously with guns. He throws the device you use to capture the pals at the merchant.
Device. It's not a rip-off at all.
It's a pal sphere, I believe.
A pal sphere. Yes, there we go.
I believe is what it's called.
It's not a ball, it's a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And like
he catches the merchant.
He catches the merchant. And
gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
No kidding.
This merchant is packing heat.
Oh, he's packing all the heat. He drops like all of his money, and the guy steals it, and it looks like a ridiculous game.
How Shakespearean? Give one of these sphere catchers to Shylock. I'll get that merchant. There we go.
I bite thy tongue at thee. Anyway,
I throw my catching sphere at thee.
Pal sphere. So yeah, it looks enjoyable. It is it's a very open world style game, and it just looks looks like fun, but it involves, like I said, it involves guns, and you can craft items, and
you still have not found or have me play Squirrel with a Gun.
It's not out yet.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, look, you announced this in our first season.
Yeah,
I have it on my Steam wish list, so once it comes out, we'll play it.
Any sort of little animal with a gun, I'm there for it. Like I don't want to. I just want to come and chill and laugh when I play a video game. Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator.
When it comes on sale, because I'm not paying full price for it, but when it comes on sale, I am getting Goat Simulator 3.
And you have to show me Power Wash.
Yes. Oh, I love Power Wash.
I have Power Wash. I haven't played it yet. I have it on my PS5. It was the free game for last year. All right. So moving on. Everybody is angry at Dwayne Johnson.
Why is everyone angry at The Rock? I thought he was beloved by all.
Well, it's kind of compounding on things. A lot of people got really mad at him with the Black Adam thing. People got mad at him with the Moana thing. And
what did Moana do to anybody?
What is the Black Adam thing and what is the Moana thing?
So basically Black Adam sucked and everybody blamed.
It did not.
It didn't. But it didn't do well and everybody blamed Dwayne Johnson.
You can't blame him for that. That is just superhero burnout. It's DC exhaustion because
I don't disagree with that.
Their movies have not been great. You can't blame Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He was fabulous. I liked the movie very much. I thought it was very enjoyable, particularly those initial scenes when Black Adam comes out and just shows how powerful he is, and it was all done in like slow motion and stop. It was beautiful.
So the Moana thing is they're making a live action Moana, and The Rock straight up went on and announced it, and everybody just started saying that he's just trying to do things for money. And like, no kidding, he's a businessman.
That's his job.
Yeah.
Hello.
But people were decrying him for that. The whole thing with Oprah and Hawaii, where Oprah and Dwayne Johnson were trying to get people to donate for the fires down in Hawaii. And people were like, you two are rich enough, you can donate your own money, which I think is stupid.
Oh.
But let's get into why at least the wrestling community as a whole is angry at Dwayne Johnson. So, last weekend was the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble, and they've been doing this story for 2 years now where Cody is supposed to finish the story with Roman Reigns. So this past Friday on SmackDown, Cody comes out, and instead of saying, "All right, Roman, it's you and me at WrestleMania," he says, "You're going to be fighting this guy at WrestleMania." The Rock comes down. And a lot of people are looking at this as The Rock is now on the board. He has more power in the company than pretty much anyone, and he's interjecting himself into this. I have never seen a crowd boo The Rock this hard. Like, normally when The Rock comes down, his music hits, it's drowned out by cheers. This time it was drowned out by boos. And to add to that, they've set a YouTube record with this video. 277,000 dislikes in 9 hours. Over 2 million views. It bad. So I'm not mad at him, to be very honest with you. I'm always going to sit there and say, let's see where the storyline goes. But a lot of people are disappointed that it's not going to be Roman and Cody at WrestleMania, because that's what has basically been promised to us over the last 2 years. And people are upset that The Rock has kind of hijacked the WrestleMania main event.
Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Maybe there's a reason it needs to be that
there's
way.
100% a reason for this. So reason number one, Seth Rollins is injured. The other World Heavyweight Champion is injured. Number two, CM Punk nearly won the Rumble, but after the Rumble, came out of it injured. They want a huge star to headline WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. Wrestling is a business. I'm sorry. They're in it to make money.
The entertainment world as a whole is a business.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So just get over it. Get over it. Just sit back and enjoy what comes out. If you don't like it, fine, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it.
Am I disappointed that I'm not going to see Cody and Roman at WrestleMania? A little bit, but who knows what will happen with the storyline. And finally, the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation have been given a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 51st Saturn Awards.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Basically, like, if you look at the history of it, there's a lot to it. They were nominated 6 times for best sci-fi TV show, won twice. And they have all been involved in the genre forever, and they deserve it. They deserve the award. The only unfortunate thing is LeVar Burton and Jonathan Frakes weren't there to accept the award. Scheduling differences.
Yeah.
Everybody else was there though.
It happens, and it's so interesting too when you look at something like that, because you had your original series, which is very much in the lore of Star Trek. I mean, that's what started it all, right? Then the next biggest one is the Next Generation. For hundreds, millions of people, that is Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I just loved a lot of the camaraderie. I loved a lot of the energy that was there. I loved how they all, there was chemistry with that cast.
There was, yeah.
And the stories were very compelling, especially when you started getting into the Borg and Locutus and all those kind of really interesting things. Like, I remember one called A Fistful of Datas,
I love those
my
episodes.
God, yeah.
And some of them were maybe a little bit campy, but I mean, like, once it settled in and their budget was bigger and they settled into the characters and the characters grew, you saw these really great arcs and you saw these great character developments, and you saw like this whole idea that culminated in First Contact, where Picard calls Worf a coward, and Worf says, "If you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand." And then Picard has to come back and apologize later on and say, "You're the bravest man I've ever known." But I'm just like, it's that kind of dynamic that, to me anyway, I thought First Contact was the best Next Generation movie.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the other ones really compared to that, because it's leaping off of that whole thing with the Borg, and you have this idea of this leader, and they played in that later on in the reboot too, with old Spock and Chris Pine Kirk, where he's telling him, it's like, my world has been destroyed. I am compromised. I'm telling you, I am compromised.
Yeah.
I, old Spock, am telling you, young Spock, you can drive him to this point. And there's always that kind of struggle where they're friends, but they're colleagues, and there's going to be that difference of opinion, and it's going to clash. And whenever you have that clash, it's compelling.
Yeah. And in all honesty, that's what it comes down to, is you have the Next Generation crew oftentimes seems less like a crew and more like a family.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, they're Patrick Stewart is just amazing.
Of course he is. Speaking of awards, you mentioned the Saturn Awards. It is award season in Hollywood. Whether you think it's self-congratulatory or not, it's kind of fun to watch because you never know what's going to happen at these things.
Yeah, no kidding.
When you go back in the history of the Oscars, and Sachin Littlefeather gets up and tells everyone that Marlon Brando says, nope, not accepting the award because of the treatment of Native Americans. And then you have David Niven giving an award, and out pops a streaker.
That is a thing that happened.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Taylor has to get on afterwards to present an award, and she is shook. When you have Jack Lemmon running to get somewhere, and Clint Eastwood is trying to do Jack Lemmon's speech, and he's just like saying to the cue card guy, say, come on with the cue cards, man, this isn't my bag. And Jack Lemmon comes running on. Guess where I was? He had to go to the bathroom. You can't script those things. And even when it is scripted, sometimes it is just so hilarious. Like Miss Piggy, Johnny Carson. And she sits there and she says, can Vu, Jonathan, stand there in your rented tuxedo and tell me that I am not Oscar material? And he says, Oscar Mayer, maybe. That is hilarious.
Dare you to
have this puppet basically bitching that she's not been nominated for an Oscar for the Muppet movie or something like that. And that's what's great about it. It's like you have this puppet that's acting like a real person, like they should be nominated, like a legit Hollywood actress, Like Billy Crystal's stunt, it's legendary. When Jack Palance gets up there and does like a one-handed push-up, and Billy Crystal just went, oh, yes, it's improv Tom now. And off he goes for the whole Oscars, just, making fun of Jack Palance or spoofing Jack Palance. And then the following year, Crystal's hosting again, and Jack Palance is like pulling him on this giant Oscar, dragging him out. Just, you love stuff like that. And that's what you look for. That's what you want to see. Some years are good. Some years are a snooze fest.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And some years you have Glenn Close basically informing all of these black actors that she knows rap music. And you're just like, you went for it. Woman knew her stuff. You were impressed. Good on you. Mm-hmm. Good on you. And I'm like, you go, Glenn. You go.
You go, Glenn. Go.
You go. Yeah. So we're going to talk first about the Oscars. Now, we're not going to do a deep dive. We've talked about the Oscars before. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about what is nominated. Yeah. We're going to talk about some of the big categories. Where shall we start? Shall we start with Best Picture?
Yeah, I think I'm good with that.
Okay. Well, so what's nominated for Best Picture, guys?
Best Picture is American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killer of the Flower Moon,
okay,
Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest.
So, I've heard of a couple of them. I've seen exactly one of them.
Yeah, same. I do want to see Poor Things, though. That looks interesting.
It does look interesting. So what do you think? Is Oppenheimer? Pretty sure it's going to be Oppenheimer.
It's either. Well, I mean, it's hard to say without seeing them. But the fact of the matter is Oppenheimer, not by itself, but Oppenheimer was a huge cultural landmark this past year.
That and Barbie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I said, Killers of the Flowers. The Martin Scorsese film that I can't say.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Thank you. That one's probably going to be in the running as well, easily. But Christopher Nolan, an Oppenheimer movie and let's face it, we know that the bomb was done practically. That alone deserves some the recognition. Yeah. So yeah, let's. I would say Oppenheimer's probably at the top of the list.
I think so. I think that's the one that they're going to get. But I think that there's some cultural relevance to it. I think that there's a story that Hollywood just loves to kind of tell. I think that with Barbie, I don't know that the Academy is ready to do something like that yet, but they have honored it because it made a ton of money. It saved the box office. It
saved the box office this summer. That is 100% true.
So while we're on that, how many nominations does Oppenheimer and Barbie have? Because I think they're leading, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's going to be sound editing and sound mixing and production design and acting and directing and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's really interesting kind of to see the totals because
Oppenheimer
dominates with 13 nods.
And Poor Things
follows with 11. Ooh.
I really need to see that.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on then to Best Director. Who do we have?
Directing is Anatomy of a Fall, Justine Triet, Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese, Oppenheimer, Nolan, Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos, and The Zone of Interest, Jonathan Glazer.
So I think it's going to be Nolan. Scorsese has had his accolades. He's won numerous times. Nolan is kind of leading the young director pack.
Yeah, I think he'll be Nolan as well, to be honest with you. Nolan's work speaks for itself. Even putting Oppenheimer aside, this guy is brilliant as a filmmaker, is brilliant in ways that a lot of modern filmmakers are not.
Well, look at the Batman trilogy. I mean, how he got a superhero movie nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. And the Dark Knight specifically, he took Batman and made it into a city crime film akin to Heat.
Yeah.
What an insurmountable task, and two, what a genius.
And Gotham wasn't just a sound stage somewhere. Yeah. It was it was Chicago.
Yeah, they used Chicago, which makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, it was beautifully done. And I think he has won before, but I think he deserves it for Oppenheimer. That was a wild ride. It wasn't really quite what I expected. And out of the biopic, there were some moments that surprised me. There were some moments that shocked me. Mm-hmm. And all culminating to the detonation of the bomb. And you kind of felt that pacing. You felt that anticipation. You felt that fear of what, because we know what happens. We know through history what that meant, what that moment meant. So to see that moment and to capture it as beautifully as he did, because it's a long movie, but did not feel like one. And that's what you want. Like when a movie's like about 3 hours long, you want it to feel like it's 2.
Yeah. The worst is when it's 3 hours long and it feels like 5.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
3 hour long movie feels like 2 weeks.
So who is up for Best Male Performer? I think that's what they're calling it now. I don't think they're calling it Best Actor or Actress. I think it's performance by a male lead or something like that.
Which I think is actually kind of worse. No, it's actor in leading and actor in supporting, and then actress in leading. And
maybe it's the Golden Globes that switched it around.
So sorry, which one? Leading?
Yeah, leading actor.
Leading actor is Bradley Cooper
for Maestro.
Yep. Coleman Domingo. Sorry, guys. Domingo for Rustin. Paul
for what?
Rustin. 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 Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers.
Right.
Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright hasn't been around for a while.
Jeffrey Wright is an interesting one because he's good. He's really good.
I don't know Coleman Domingo. I do know Bradley Cooper, Paul Giamatti, Cillian Murphy, and Jeffrey Wright. So these are really some powerhouse actors. But I'm thinking it's definitely going to be Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer.
Probably. Although, I mean, Paul Giamatti has range.
He does. If anyone's going to take it, though, it'd be Bradley Cooper for Maestro, I think.
God,
if they're going to take it away from him. But I think it would either be a tie or... But I really think Cillian Murphy's going to get it for Oppenheimer.
When I saw the makeup for Bradley Cooper in Maestro, I didn't realize it was Bradley Cooper. The recognition of Bradley Cooper in Maestro is same as the recognition as Bradley Cooper in Guardians of the Galaxy. Just did not realize it was him. It is hilarious. I don't mean physically for Guardians. Stop laughing. I meant the voice. It doesn't sound like Bradley Cooper.
No, it doesn't sound like, and it doesn't look like him either.
No, it definitely
that was like a great makeup job making him into Rocket Raccoon. Speaking of makeup, what is up for makeup? I like that category. It's interesting because it's kind of one of those categories that it started with An American Werewolf in London. That was the very first Oscar for makeup, and of course it went to Rick Baker, who actually has a ton of Oscars for makeup.
Yeah,
like he is the upper echelon of makeup artists. So what is up for makeup? Just because I'm curious, because that's the thing. You take something like American Werewolf in London. You take something like Bram Stoker's Dracula. You take something like The Grinch.
You take something like Star Trek.
Yes. You even take something like the makeup for Ed Wood, where I understand it because you're turning Martin Landau into Bela Lugosi, so there's makeup involved. So I get that. But lately I've found like a lot of the makeup and hairstyling has been like...
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, just like, So what is up for makeup this year?
Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow.
So, heard of 3 of these movies.
Yeah.
We were just discussing, so that's why I was curious, because maybe Maestro would get the makeup award if they've transformed Bradley Cooper into somebody that...
But Oppenheimer is a period piece, and those are hard to do nowadays.
Well, not for makeup, but...
makeup and hairstyling, right?
Yeah.
Makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah. Poor Things, I mean, I don't know, but it's hard to pick that one. It's really hard. So that's always interesting.
My guess is Oppenheimer.
But they don't do like the latex anymore. This is the problem. This category has it's kind of been subverted by a lot of the visual computer generated effects.
And that's kind of the thing though, is that there are movies that do the latex. Like if you look at Star Trek Beyond, for example, like that was practical makeup effects. There were practical makeup effects in Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah,
that's not nominated, but I think part of it is that maybe the Academy is having a hard time looking at what we're seeing as practical versus CGI.
Right, and that could be.
On the flip side, visual effects. We have The Creator, Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And Napoleon. And Godzilla -1 visual effects. I didn't think you could make a CGI thing look like a guy in a suit, but it was awesome. Godzilla was amazing in that movie.
There was a sense of realism in that Godzilla that I have never seen in any of the CGI Godzilla movies.
The sad part is I have not seen it. I really want to see it.
He moves like a guy in a suit, and it's amazing.
Really cool too is that they put it out and now they've re-released it as the black and white version.
Yeah.
Ooh. There's even some scenes in Godzilla. Sorry, I have to just where it looks like Harryhausen animated Godzilla.
Yeah, because
they didn't it's CGI.
Is it because this is going back to the original Raymond Burr one, right? With Ishido, I can't.
It's based on.
It's basically essentially kind of a prequel to the original
Right.
Godzilla.
Right. So that's why. And,
But they made
and it was Toho Studios, right?
It's Toho.
Yeah.
It is a brilliant movie, and looking at I've seen at least a couple of these movies. Thank you. I've seen Godzilla -1. I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I've watched bits and pieces of Mission Impossible. The fact of the matter is Godzilla, out of what I've seen, deserves it, because and it's not just the CGI monster. It is the set of this kind of pre-modern Tokyo.
Right.
When we think of Tokyo, we think of the big modern city, but this is a
1950s Tokyo,
1940s Tokyo.
Yeah.
And the destruction that they do to it, all of the shots of the destruction,
and the scenes on the ocean with the boat.
Oh my god!
Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
It's amazing.
Godzilla's chasing them. He wants
okay.
My god!
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to start gushing.
Yeah.
Just don't. I haven't seen it.
No.
Godzilla's
going to get it.
One thing I'm going to say, and I've said it again: how is it Asian filmmakers are able to take something like a monster movie or a zombie movie and turn it into an emotional piece?
Because they tell stories differently in different countries. Best actress. Let's move on there.
Best actress is in a leading role. We have Annette Bening, Lily Gladstone, Sandra Huller, Carey Mulligan, and Emma Stone.
That in a leading role.
In a leading role. Yep.
Okay, that's interesting. That's going to be a hard one to call, because Lily Gladstone, she won the Golden Globe for this role, and I thought she was in the Best Supporting Actress category in the Golden Globe. She might not have been. I'm just trying to remember. But there's a lot of buzz around Emma Stone in Poor Things.
Yeah, a ton of it too.
Because she won the Golden Globe, as did Lily Gladstone, but it wasn't. So I'm pretty sure Lily Gladstone was in the Best Supporting actress for the Golden Globes. This is going to be one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lily Gladstone, she is Native American, and I think it's the first time that a Native American has been nominated in this category. So yeah, I mean, these are all really strong actresses. I can't pick this one. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's either going to go to Lily Gladstone or Emma Stone. So either way, one of the Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, what are your thoughts?
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ren?
I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself.
Oh, let them go. Holy cow. All right. Be that way. Okay. This is the problem that we're having with the Oscars, and it happens every year, and it gets worse every year. These movies never play mainstream around here. Yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon did, and that's it. The rest of them, no. I think I know people will say, well, over in London at the Highland. Yeah, but the Highland only has them on at specific times.
Yeah.
And if you can't get to that specific time, it's not like it plays for a week. It's like, on Friday night we're playing this movie, and on
this gets into a bit of a business thing, but the fact of the matter is this is an issue that's going on across North America. Theaters want to make money.
Yeah.
So they're going to book the movies that are going to most likely make money. And
Absolutely.
So stuff like this kind of gets thrown to the side.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, they're not making money. So maybe they need to realize that, hey, it's great. I'll use our local theater as an example. They put out every kid's movie.
Yeah.
Every single one. And they're missing out on the fact that it's like, okay, you're making money off of that, sure, because mom, dad, grandma, grandpa take the kids to see the latest piece of crap kids movie. But the rest of us aren't coming because you're not showing movies we want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that, but yeah, essentially, yeah. So it makes it difficult to get out to see these movies. And that leads to a whole other issue like pirating and stuff like that.
Yeah, and sometimes the marketing is bad. Like I still say The Last Voyage of the Demeter is a fantastic movie,
I still haven't seen it.
Fantastic movie that everybody needs to see. It's ripping. It is really good. Like what I don't know what's happening with the movie industry, It's like they're not building legends. They're not even building like new cultural iconic things, It's like the superheroes had their day, I feel. So now what? I don't know. But let's move into the supporting categories, shall we?
Actress or actor first?
You pick.
We're going to do actress.
Okay, supporting actress.
We have Emily Blunt, Danielle Brooks, America Ferrera,
right?
Jodie Foster, and Davine Joy Randolph.
So, wow.
Divine.
So Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Naiad, and Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. That is a tough category to call. Wow. Is Danielle Brooks playing the Oprah Winfrey role? Because this is the musical version of
The that's the musical version of The Color Purple.
And it'd be interesting to see if it is the same character, because how interesting would that be to do that rollback where Oprah Winfrey was nominated for Best Supporting Actress way back then in the original Color Purple, and then to see this actress nominated in the same role, if it is the same role. That'd be interesting. Again, most of these movies, other than Barbie, did I tell you what I did? Oh my gosh. So I went to see Barbie, and I went to see Oppenheimer first, then I went to see Barbie, separate days. So I thought, okay, I'll get into the spirit of it. I went to a matinee because I just didn't want to deal with the throngs of people that were going to see Barbie. So I had a pink shirt and blue shorts, all kind of Barbie colors. And I walk in, and to get my tickets, what are you here to see? And I just looked at my shirt and shorts, and I went, Oppenheimer. Unfortunately, she believed me. I'm like, no, I'm here to see Barbie.
Just an FYI, Danielle Brooks and Oprah both played Sophia.
I knew it. That's interesting. To me, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I like it when things come.
Yeah, it's kind of come full circle that way, in a way, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk. I can't really talk about this one because I haven't really, outside of Barbie, I haven't really seen any of these movies. And Oppenheimer. Emily Blunt, I figured, would be nominated for Best Supporting Actress in this role, but whether she's going to win, that's a tough call.
America Ferrera was really good in Barbie. But again, I haven't seen these other movies, so I can't really say. So just based on the fact that...
But it's that moment. It's that moment. I don't think it's the overall performance. I think it's that moment.
Yeah, we've talked about that. There's a moment.
Yeah.
Where but yeah. No,
because, I mean, like Kate McKinnon as Weird Barbie, come on.
That was brilliant.
I mean, if you ever wanted to give an Oscar for a comedy performance, like, come on. Kate McKinnon knocked Weird Barbie out of the park. That was just fantastic as far as I was concerned.
I'm just going to say America Ferrera because that's all I've seen this year for supporting.
Well, it's kind of interesting, too, because a lot of times the Oscars will sit there, and unless your performance is just that great, it's very rare for somebody who is new in the industry to win an Oscar. Now, nominated, yes, but they look at it as like the nomination is your reward.
Who?
Well, Danielle Brooks.
Oh, Danielle. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Like the nominee, but you're up against Emily Blunt, you're up against Jodie Foster, legendary Jodie Foster.
Well, yeah, there's another thing. Is Jodie Foster, right? America
Ferrera has been around for a while. Everyone loved her in Ugly Betty. So that's the thing. It's like, sometimes it's who they owe it to.
Yeah.
Like you cannot tell me that Pacino's performance, although it was good in Scent of a Woman, was really all that Oscar worthy. It kind of was because he's playing this blind guy, right? Mm-hmm. But it's more or less that I think is like, we didn't give it to you for The Godfather. You've done this really great performance here. We're going to make up for it. It's almost like a lifetime achievement. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that will come into play in our next category, which is Best Supporting Actor.
The Best Supporting Actor is Sterling K. Brown.
Ooh.
Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling, and Mark Ruffalo. Ooh.
Mark Ruffalo. Okay.
We got the Hulk versus Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what we have here is Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling, Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. I really got to see Poor Things. It sounds so interesting. Yes, Iron Man versus the Hulk. And Iron Man is going to bring out the Hulkbuster and take it. Now, here's the thing. This is what I was getting at. Robert Downey Jr. has been nominated numerous times. Has not won. Mm-hmm. He absolutely deserves to win this Oscar for this performance. He was fantastic in Oppenheimer. Just blew me away. Not a trace of your typical Robert Downey Jr. No trace of Tony Stark at all. He was just vicious and cerebral and just it's a lesson in acting almost. I don't think anybody else is going to take it or even come close. And there's a couple reasons. One, the performance was that good. And two, as I said, he's been nominated a lot of times and not won. Probably deserved to, like for Chaplin, as an example. But the other thing, too, is that Robert Downey Jr. is really high paid and really beloved. There are all kinds of performances I can look at that have won Oscars, but they were also the highest paid actor or actress in Hollywood at the time. And Hollywood sits there and goes, you can't be that high paid and not have an Oscar. So here. Mm-hmm. So here. But I don't know who else would pull up to this category in that, especially not having seen the movies. But I think part of it, too, because people were saying Ryan Gosling was nominated for Barbie and Margot Robbie was not, and this is a travesty. I have a feeling, and it's no shade to Ryan Gosling, this past movie season was not particularly stellar for the Best Supporting categories, especially when it came to actors.
Yeah. So
here you have Gosling doing this really interesting and comedic performance, and he is Knuff with the nomination. But I think it's almost one of those things, too, where do they stack the deck a little bit? Do they sit there and go, we really want Robert Downey Jr. to get this. We have to round out the category. Can we round it out with somebody that the audience would not be expecting to win and therefore does not? It's all speculation. I can't say.
It's all a show.
I can't say.
It's all a show.
Ren has this very confused look on their face. They are deep in thought. What are you thinking?
I have a lot of thoughts about the Oscars that I keep to myself. Because, it's very heated. Very opinionated.
Very opinionated.
And I just keep it to myself.
None of these this year is not going to pull in audience numbers, I don't think.
No, they've been losing audiences year over year.
Because they don't care. But, at the same time, you cannot nominate fluff.
Well, okay.
But why not? If that's what people want to see and that's what people watch.
Oh,
then why is Fluff not getting nominated?
well, hang on. Let's roll back just a second. Yes, I understand what you were saying, but the fact of the matter is the numbers aren't just going. Yes, there are people who don't care, but the fact of the matter is millennials and younger are cord cutters. The vast majority of us don't have cable. We're not tuning in to watch this crap.
Right.
Sorry, shouldn't have said that, but there's not streaming.
That's true.
So
maybe they're a little out of touch.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen. There have been some movies that have been nominated that I personally think you go, huh? Oh, okay.
What was that Benedict Cumberbatch one?
Power of the Dog is well acted. It's got beautiful cinematography, and I was just chomping at the bit for it to be over with. And it got quite a few nominations.
Listen, I they need to do something to bring people in. And yeah, they do. In all honesty, there has to be some kind of presence of fluff at these shows.
Yeah.
Because people don't.
They
need to give people a reason to watch.
But that's the thing. When they try something, they did like a stunt thing last year about fan favorite or one of the
and people turn their nose up at it.
Yeah, I mean they don't
because they don't listen to fans.
Well, no, the fans turn their kind of nose up at it. The thing is, it's a pointless award. You have to look at the construction of the movie as a whole. It may not be to your taste, but you have to look at it. It's like, there's the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. That's what it really is, right? So all of these things, it's an art and it is a science. You can make an indie film like that shark one that you talk about, Dracula's Shark or whatever.
Sharkula?
Mm-hmm. You know, and like that's like someone saying, I really enjoyed it. That should be the best picture of the year. No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay, so to put it very mildly, there are Oscar-winning films I have watched that I did not like.
Exactly.
Now, the thing is, I didn't like them. That does not mean that they're bad films.
Exactly.
I just didn't like them.
Exactly. There's a difference between what you personally enjoy, because I always hate the fact that somebody says, it scared me, therefore it's a horror movie. Well, you know what? When I was a kid, going through it's about as horror as it gets. When you're going through the tunnel in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that is scary. It is not a horror movie.
The opening scene of Look Who's Talking To scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Why?
Because he's having some kind of dream about some demon coming from above the toilet. I don't know. I don't remember all of it that much.
Look Who's Talking To.
Yeah.
The Talking Babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, talking babies. That's frightening enough as it is.
Okay. I think Nick has lost some credibility here. Ren, you wanted to talk about Best Animated.
Animated feature films. We have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay,
so
Nick had a gasm here of Nimona. I've never heard of it. What is it?
Go ahead.
So we have a Miyazaki film, which means it's stunning and gorgeous, and also, once again, Japanese. Elemental, which in my... but whatever. Nimona, which is amazing and awesome and
what is it about?
So it's about...
It's about 2 hours. No.
It's about this knight who gets framed for attacking the king, gets kicked out, finds this demon kind of creature thing, and
I want to see it.
Becomes really good friends with them, and basically they have to like prove that he's not
evil.
He's not evil, and he didn't try to kill the king.
And what style of animation is it?
Amazing.
No. What style?
It's like a cartoony, like a comic book sort of 3D kind of. It kind of sort of similar to like Spider-Man, but less comic book.
Yeah, it's very similar to Spider-Man Across the Universe.
Okay.
Less of the cell shading.
But the amazing part is that not only are the knights, the two main knights, in a gay relationship, but Nimona is non-binary. As in, like, what is Nimona? I don't know, but it's amazing. And constantly it's just like, I'm a shark. No, I'm a this. And like can shapeshift. And it's amazing. It's so touching. I cried.
I watched it with Zipper. And I just went, okay, whatever. This is going to be another cartoon movie. And I watched it and I'm like, this boils down everything that Zipper and Ren has explained to me about being non-binary. And it's a really neat watch.
It could win because Hollywood does like to get political.
It is just a good film in general because, like, Nimona's an outsider who, like, can't be allowed in the city.
I can't judge it because I haven't seen it, unfortunately. In fact, I hadn't even heard of it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a Netflix.
It's a Netflix film? Yeah. Okay, I'll be able to check it out. I love anime, so I would be soft. I'm rooting for The Boy and the Heron.
I need to see that.
I haven't seen it, but I'm rooting for it because I love anime.
Yeah, Robot Dreams, I honestly have not seen that. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I haven't seen that, but I did see the first Spider-Man movie like that, and that one was amazing.
And it won.
It did win, yeah.
It won.
So this one is pretty...
that's what I'm wondering. Will this one win again? Or will they will they throw some diversity? All I know is I don't want Elemental.
It's going to be Miyazaki or Nimona.
Yeah.
Is my bet.
I mean, it's a Studio Ghibli film, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that alone, I mean, it's going to be a brilliant film no matter what. Still need to see it, but it's going to be wonderful. I would like to see Nimona win, but if Nimona doesn't win, I'll be good with The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah,
Well, that's the categories that we kind of were interested in and wanted to talk about. We're not going to drone on and on about this. But one thing that we do have to talk about, oh my gosh, we have to talk about it. The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about the Super Bowl because what do we know about football?
I watched it for 3 years and I've learned nothing.
I can play the Madden video games okay.
And you don't even consider this real football anyway, Nick.
No, this is hand egg.
You are free. Hand egg.
The hand egg championship.
And, I can count on one hand the amount of sporting events I watch in a year, but everybody is losing their minds over this, not because of the game itself, but because of the possibility of 5 whole seconds of a view of Tay-Tay. Taylor Swift coming to support her man Travis Kelce. The tightest of tight ends.
Oh, God. I don't even know what the tight end does.
He's a tight end. That's what he does. But it doesn't not beg the question if there is a tight end somewhere there must be a loose end? And if there was a loose end, does that loose end need to be tied? And if that loose end is tied, is it tied by Tay-Tay? I don't know. I don't know. But everybody is talking about it. Everybody's losing their minds about it, either because she has the possibility, because they've done the math, because she's got a concert in Japan. Mm-hmm. Can she get there? They've done the math. Like the fans are ravenous. The Taylor Swifties, they are ravenous. They're like, she can make it. There's a hotel like right there outside, and she will be able to make it if she sleeps on the plane, and if she does her colonic and all these crazy things. And it's like, wow, you can figure out whether or not Taylor Swift can make it from Japan to the Super Bowl, but you cannot figure out.
Okay, we can
how
figure out
diabetes works.
Girl math.
We can figure out if Swift's going to make it from Japan to the Super Bowl. But let me tell you about 2 trains traveling at the same speed on opposite directions.
It should be really fun and really interesting because here's the whole thing about it. There are countries that want Taylor Swift to perform there because this woman, she's only 34. Yeah, she's 34 years old. Mm-hmm. She has her own economy.
She is at this point, she's past pop culture. Taylor Swift herself is a cultural phenomenon.
I'm waiting to see what she transcends into her final form. Because it started off as this cute little teenage country singer, and now she is this worldwide phenomenon that is just making certain segments of society cringe cringe to the nth degree, and you just want to smack them. I love the conversation we had. You had put out that some troll had basically said that with Travis Kelce getting a $70,000 bonus, that Taylor Swift was a gold digger. And I'm just like, the woman is worth $1.1 billion. If anyone is a gold digger in the relationship, it ain't her.
Yeah. Like the mental gymnastics that some of these people are having to put themselves through to decry the fact that Taylor Swift shows up on screen for 5 seconds.
And the NFL is loving it because the NFL has never had this kind of attention in a long, long time.
But the biggest question is, why did they choose Usher and not Taylor Swift to do the halftime show?
She wasn't available.
She got a show in Japan.
She will be racing.
But she can clearly come back enough for the football game and then go back.
Yeah, but I mean...
But also, Usher...
Also, I'm just going to say this.
You say that like he's a nobody.
Why?
What has Usher done lately?
Why?
But here's the thing.
The Super Bowl.
Hang on. Could the Super Bowl, and this is the biggest sporting event in North America, could the Super Bowl afford her?
Or, the thing of it is, like, no, here's the thing. I think this is really what it boils down to. She's there to support Travis Kelce. That's his arena.
Yeah, I think that's
even though
like
things are being like shied away from. If she did that, that would take that spotlight away from him and his team and all that kind of stuff.
And she is a powerhouse, but at the same time, she's like, no, this is your show.
Yeah.
Like, this is your thing.
I mean, that would be like, if things were reversed and she's got a show and like at intermission, it's like, and here's Travis Kelce now doing catching a pass. And like, no.
I would die. I would actually die if that happened. But anyway.
I don't know. I don't think that we should criticize this couple. I think that they are actually a nice couple. I think that they've done a lot for the
Leave
NFL.
Taylor Swift alone.
Listen, the Swifties will cut you. They will cut you. They have. If Taylor Swift wanted to take over the world as the earth, no, but if she wanted to take over as the supreme dictator of the earth, she has a whole army that will let it happen.
I'd welcome it.
So, it's just like let's be fair here. It's a night. She's 34 years old. If she wants to have children, which I imagine she does, and she has this handsome, rugged alpha male that she can marry and have children with, the time is ticking. You know what I mean? Like, I bless the union. I hope it goes well for them. I hope that they get married because, hello, Vegas Wedding Chapel right there.
Alternatively, if they break up, the songs that are going to come out of it are going to be fantastic.
You know what? I think I've seen, like, I don't pay attention to who's dating who and who's losing who because, at the end of the day, these are people. They're human beings. They have this job. They're in the spotlight. We think we own them for some reason, that they owe us something. We don't. We're not owed their private lives.
No.
So I really hope that it works out for them because I'm kind of for it. I'm kind of for this thing. She's had a rough go of it. They seem to be in love. They seem to really be having a good time together. You know what? And if they did break up, that would kind of be awful. I think it'd be awful for the NFL. It'd be awful for her. But talk about putting your eggs in one basket. Like, listen, NFL, this tells you something. You've got to make things a little more entertaining somehow. A little more entertaining.
All the NFL players to have high profile girlfriends.
Now. Tay-Tay is not enough for me to tune in and watch a football game. I did watch a football game. I watched my very first Rose Bowl game, New Year's Day. The very first time I watched the Rose Bowl. Only because I have this person that I've been talking to in Alabama, and they were really an Alabama fan. I said, I'll make a deal with you. I said, I will watch Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and then we can talk about it to support you and your team. Roll Tide. That's all I know. That's all I know. And it was her own fault because she made me watch it. And anytime I watch something that I'm rooting for a team, they lose. So I'm telling you, out there in listening land, aliens, which side in the Super Bowl do you want to win? I'll be taking checks, money orders, cash. I will root for the team that you want to lose.
Patreon subscriptions, Ko-fi.
Yeah, I will. And on that note, Nick, remind our aliens how they can get a hold of us one more time.
Apparently they can get a hold of us on DraftKings now. Anyway, TikTok, Instagram, the other one.
Facebook,
Thank
YouTube.
you. Facebook, YouTube.
Patreon.
At the Area 51 age, Area 51 and a half. Patreon. Come spend some money with us. Get some neat things. We'll give you a shout out. You've mentally broken me, John.
This isn't the first time. Why are you acting so surprised?
I'm not surprised.
And remind them about our game night one more time.
Oh, don't forget to come out on Monday nights to the St. Thomas Denny's at Elgin Center. It starts at 4 o'clock until closing time at 8. Come, play some games, get some snacks, have a good time.
All right, aliens, that is all the time we have for this episode of Area 51 and a half. This is Spooky Uncle John and...
Snyderman 501 Nick Snyder.
Ren, a.k.a. Pyre Lily.
signing off from the landing pad.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice.